Have you ever felt like everything you do in life is a constant effort to fit into a mold that doesn't even feel like yours? Like every day you wake up feeling like you're living in a movie where you're not the main character, but just a supporting role, following a script someone else wrote, filling spaces and expectations that don't resonate with who you really are. This feeling can be suffocating, as if your true essence is being smothered by external expectations, imposed responsibilities, and the pressure to be something you never chose to be. It's an experience many of us share, but one that's rarely spoken of honestly, as if the discomfort of not fitting in is a personal failure rather than a consequence of a world trying to mold us into its image. But what if I told you that this feeling of emptiness and lack of purpose has a deeper root than just making wrong choices or facing tough circumstances? What if the problem isn't what you're doing, but how you're seeing yourself? Many times, we get swept away by a hidden and powerful belief, the idea that we need to conform to what others expect of us to be validated, accepted, and loved. The root of this feeling of displacement doesn't lie just in external situations, but in how we internalize these expectations and, without realizing it, let them shape our identity and actions. Now, what if I told you that your biggest obstacle isn't the lack of opportunities, or the mistakes you've made in the past, or even what others think of you? That might sound hard to accept because we all tend to blame events, circumstances, or other people's opinions for our failures or dissatisfaction. But the reality is much more subtle and profound. Your biggest obstacle lies within you, and it's not something concrete like the mistakes you've made or the doors that have closed. It's the deeply rooted belief that everything happening in your life carries immense weight, as if every wrong decision is an irreversible disaster, and every negative opinion has the power to define who you are. Today, I want to talk to you about something that can completely change this perspective, the power of acting as if nothing affects you. Imagine for a moment what that really means. I'm not suggesting that you become cold or indifferent, but that you learn to navigate life without carrying the burden of what others think, or the weight of every little obstacle. I'm talking about developing an attitude that frees you from the invisible chains keeping you stuck in a cycle of worry, fear, and the need for approval. When you adopt this mindset, you begin to realize that many of the problems consuming you were, in fact, created by your own mind. And from this perspective, you become able to act with more freedom and clarity. If you give me the chance to guide you on this journey and stay with me until the end of this video, I promise you'll discover how this shift in mentality can be the turning point you've been looking for. More than that, I'll show you how this new way of thinking can not only transform your actions and choices, but also attract the things you truly desire into your life. We're going to explore, step by step, how you can stop being a victim of circumstances and become the conscious creator of your own reality, choosing with intention and clarity the path you want to walk. So let's dive deeper into the main topic, the power of acting as if nothing affects you. This idea may seem radical, especially if you've been taught since childhood that worrying, stressing, and taking things personally is a sign that you care. But that's one of the biggest traps we can fall into. Often, we confuse worry with responsibility and anxiety with dedication. What I'm suggesting is something different. Acting as if nothing affects you doesn't mean being indifferent, but being selective about what deserves your energy and attention. It means consciously choosing where you're going to invest your emotional and mental time. Think about it, the universe is constantly moving, an infinite dance of energy, and you, as a human being, are part of that energy. When you worry too much, when you cling to things you can't control, or when you care too much about what others think, you're, in a way, blocking the natural flow of that energy. It's like trying to swim against the current of a river, it's exhausting, and in the end, you get swept away anyway. But when you adopt the attitude of acting as if nothing affects you, you release that resistance. You tell the universe that you trust the flow of life, and with that, you make room for things to happen naturally and fluidly. Now, let's talk about the laws of the universe, because understanding these laws is key to grasping why this attitude holds so much power. One of the most powerful laws is the law of detachment. This law teaches us that to truly attract what we desire into our lives, we need to let go of our obsessive need for control. When you act as if nothing affects you, it doesn't mean you don't have desires or goals. It simply means that you trust the process. That you stop worrying about the how and when and instead focus on the what and why. By doing this, you free yourself from the weight of expectations, the fear of failure, and the anxiety about the future. And as a result, things begin to flow more naturally, and what you desire starts to manifest more easily. Now, imagine what your life would be like if you could truly live this way. If you no longer had to constantly worry about what others think of you. If, instead of seeking external approval, you acted from your own truth, from your genuine passions and desires. How liberating would it be to move through the world with that lightness, without the constant weight of others' expectations? That's the true power of acting as if nothing affects you. It's the freedom to be who you really are, without being bound by the invisible chains of others' judgment. Think about the people you admire most. Those who seem to navigate life with unshakable confidence, who achieve what they want regardless of the challenges. Their secret isn't the absence of fear or doubt. We all, as humans, face fears and uncertainties. The difference is that these people have learned to act as if none of it really matters. They understand that true power isn't in avoiding fear or challenges, but in continuing to move despite them. They act from a place of inner confidence and detachment, knowing that the final outcome doesn't define their worth. This concept brings us to another key point: emotional detachment. Being emotionally detached doesn't mean you don't care about what you do or the people around you. On the contrary, it means you don't let the outcome of your actions or others' reactions define your worth. When you act from this perspective, you understand that true success lies in being true to yourself. Your choices and actions are guided by your inner truth, not by the fear of being rejected or criticized. This gives you extraordinary freedom because it allows you to live without the constant burden of trying to please others or avoid failure. I know all this may seem difficult at first. After all, most of us grew up in environments where others' opinions carry a lot of weight. From a young age, we're taught to seek external validation, whether at school, work, or in our relationships. But here's the truth: others' opinions are just projections of their own limitations and fears. They have absolutely nothing to do with who you really are. When you act as if nothing affects you, you're actually taking control of your own life. You're telling yourself and the world that your inner peace and well-being are above any external judgment. Now, let's do a simple exercise. Close your eyes and imagine that all the worries you have right now just disappear. All the anxieties, fears, and insecurities that accompany you daily dissipate like clouds being carried away by the wind. You wake up in the morning, and instead of hearing that voice that tells you you're not enough, you feel a deep peace. An inner silence that reminds you everything is okay, exactly as it is. There's no more need to fight against the current because you know, deep down, that the current is taking you exactly where you need to be. That's the feeling I want you to cultivate from now on. When you act as if nothing affects you, what you're really doing is reconnecting with that inner peace, that trust that everything is in its right place, even if it seems chaotic on the outside. And now I ask you, are you willing to let go of the weight of expectations? Are you ready to live a life where your actions are guided by the genuine desire to be who you really are, not by the fear of failure or disappointing others? If you're ready to adopt this mindset, I promise you won't just feel lighter, but you'll see how the universe starts to respond to your new energy. Opportunities will begin to arise, and people who truly resonate with your truth will enter your life in almost magical ways. Before we wrap up, I want to invite you to reflect. What's the worry you'd like to let go of today? What's been holding you back that you're ready to release? Share in the comments, because that's the first step in starting to transform your life. And if this video resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. This is just the beginning of a journey towards a more authentic, lighter life, aligned with your true self. Always remember, the real power lies in your ability to act and trust. See you in the next video, where we'll continue exploring how to become conscious creators of our reality. If you've made it this far, congratulations. This already shows how committed you are to your own transformation. Until next time.